Good morning, students, and welcome to online mathematics class of St. Michael's Academy. Today, I am going to discuss another interesting part of square root and cubes. What are square and square root? Finding the square root of a number is the inverse operation of squaring that number. Remember, the square of a number is that number times itself. The perfect squares are the squares of the whole numbers. The square root of a number n written below is the number that gives n when multiplied by itself. Now here, suppose n is an unknown number. So here square root of 1 is equal to 1. Square root of 4 is equal to 2. Like this, square root of 3 is equal to, you have to find out and it will come in decimal. But square root of 9 is equal to 3. Square root of 16 is equal to 4. Square root of 25 is equal to 5. And in opposite, you can say that 1 into 1, 1. Square root of 1 is equal to 1 and 1 into 1 is equal to 1. Square root of 4 is equal to 2 and 2 into 2 is equal to 4. So 1 is square root, another 1 is square. 3 into 3 is equal to 9. 4 into 4 is equal to 16. And 5 into 5 is equal to 25. So like this, square and square root we used to find out. Now, what is the use of this square root and square? Generally, in our practical life, square root helps civil engineers to make the road in hilly regions or to make a bridge.
Achha, now we are doing number 8 and 9. That means the rest of the two sums. So number 4 sums we will do later. So number 8. Find the least number by which 1500 is to be multiplied so that the product becomes a perfect square. Find the square root of the number obtained. So first one. First you have to the square of this number. You have to do the prime factorization of 1500. That only I have done. Okay, you see this is not a perfect square number. That's why I have given this second bracket. This is paired number. This is also paired number. It's 2, 5. You can take 1, 5 for having square root. Here from here also you can have 1, 2 for having square root. But these 3 and this 5 are unpaired numbers. That's why I have mentioned over here. These are unpaired numbers. Okay, that means if we multiply 1500 by 3 into 5, that is 15. So you will get a perfect square. So therefore by 15, that means within bracket 3 into 5, 1500 is to be multiplied. This is the first answer. Then you have to find out the square root after multiplying this number by 15. Then only I have done 1500 into 15. It's coming 22500. So by 2, if we divide this, it is coming like this. So prime factorization method I have done. Square root of 22500 is equal to, I have written all these things, and in the next step I have not given square root. So 1, 2, 1, 3 and 2, 5 I have written. Answer is coming 150. So first answer is 15 and second answer is 150. We will write down the answer in sentence. And now the next or last problem sums of this exercise. Find the smallest number that can be completely divided by 12, 16 and 18. Find the square root of the number obtained. The least number means you have to find out the LCM. One thing I am telling you, this is not prime factorization. Please don't do this type of mistake. This is prime factorization when only one number you are taking. But this is LCM because more than one number is there. So here also by prime factors you have to divide at least by two numbers you by 1500 is to be multiplied, and the second answer will be the square root of the number obtained is 12. Okay.
Now, square root of decimal number. How to find out the square root of a decimal number? There are two processes. First of all, suppose you have to find out 1.1250, this number square root. So you can find out by division method, so that you have to pair this from right hand side first like this, then 1 ones are 1, 2 twos are 4, like this. In square number you have to check. So it's coming 1 into 1, 1 ones are 1 is coming. So after subtraction 1 minus 1, 0 is coming. But after 1 decimal is there. So that's why in quotient also we are putting after 1 decimal. Next 1, 2. This pair of numbers will come down, and 1 into 2, 2 is coming, means double of this quotient. So 1 into 2, 2 is coming. So as 12 is less than minimum 21 also, so that's why we'll start checking like this, 20 into 0. So 20 into 0, 0 is coming, and here also you'll put 0 and here also 0. Remember this, whenever you are putting one number over here, that same number you have to put in quotient also. After that, again subtraction, 12 minus 0, 12 is coming. This pair of number, after that this last pair of number 50 will come down. Next, here only 10. So 10 into 2, 1.0 not. Don't consider the decimal right now. You just take the numbers. So 10 into 2, 20 will come. So we are checking like this. See, rough portion also they have given. 204 into 4, 816, 205 into 5, 1025, 206 into 6, 1236, like this. So we can see that 207 into 7 is coming 1449, which is greater than 1250. So that we will take 6 over here, and same number we will put over here. Here also 6. So after that subtraction, it is coming 14. Now, as because this is a decimal number, so that you can put enormous 0 over here. So that's why, suppose 2 zeros are already there, because you have to find out till 3 decimals, suppose. So these double zeros you will write down over here. Remember that double 0 or pair of zeros you have to write it down, because this is square root. So after that 106 into 2, it's coming 212. So if we will check, it will come 210 into 0. That means 0. That only they have written, because 2121 only if you have written. And you will multiply it by 1. Then also 2121 will come, which is greater than 1400. That's why we have to put over here 0. Here also 0. And it's coming ultimately 1400. Now see, after decimal till 3 digit, the quotient is completed. So this is the answer, 1.060. Or else there is another process also to do this. Suppose you have to find out the square root of 12.96. This is fractional method and this is divisional method. So you know that first you have to convert this decimal into fraction. So square root of 1296 by 100. Actually, this decimal you will not put over here. This is wrong. Actually, this will be equal to square root of 1296 divided by 100. Why 100? Because after decimal, 2 digits are there. So after 1, 2 zeros will come. Now in next step, separately we will write square root of 1296 divided by square root of 100. So it's coming 36 and it is coming 10. So 36 by 10, remember that at the last step, you have to give the answer in decimal only, because question is in decimal. So 36 by 10 is equal to 3.6, and this is the answer. So these are the two ways of how to find out the square root of a decimal number.
Good morning, class 6 students. Exercise 3.3. Sum number 2a. Okay. Find the square root
Now, one more interesting question. One more types of sum we are going to solve. So before that, I want to introduce you this process. So how to find out the least number that must be subtracted from a number to get a perfect square. So how to do this? Here one example I have given. The least number that must be subtracted from 4000 so as to get a perfect square. Find out that least number. How to find out? Actually, first you have to do the square root by divisional method, because I am mentioning here divisional method because divisional method is more easier than prime factorization method, because prime factorization method generally is very time consuming. That's why I am saying, otherwise your choice. So by divisional method, if you will find out the square root of 4000, you can find out the remainder as 31 as remainder. So thus we subtract 31 remainder from 4000 to get a perfect square. That means in this type of sum, first you have to find out the square root, preferably by divisional method, and whatever remainder will come, this will be one answer. Okay, this will be the one answer. Therefore, the perfect square is, but if they will add in the question that find out that perfect square number and its square root, then what will be your answer? Either you can give the answer as quotient, because I think so quotient will be the square root of the perfect number, or else you can do the sum like this. Therefore, perfect square is equal to 4000 minus 31, and perfect square is coming 3969. After that, you just do the square root of 3969 and it will come 63 as quotient. So also, if we do long division with 3969, we get 63 as square root. Therefore, square root of 3969 is equal to 63. So there are two answers. One is 31 that you have to subtract. This is the least number that you have to subtract from 4000 number to get a perfect square number. Now that particular perfect square number that we will get after subtracting 31 from 4000 will be 3969, and the square root of 3969 will be 63. Now let's start the sum.
Good morning, students. Exercise 3.3, sum number 3. Find the smallest number that should be subtracted from the following numbers to get a perfect square. Find the square root of the perfect square. 3a, 3, 8, 8, 1. First sum. Please do this by this method, division method. Don't do
need to do all the sums in your mathematics exercise book. For subject-related doubts or queries, please email me at sudeshna1.sma@outlook.com. One more thing I want to add over here. If you want to send me any previous homework, so please send me this at this email ID sudeshna1.sma@outlook.com. And if you have any if you are doing any sums that is outside the book and you are not getting the solution, you please mail me that sums also in this particular email ID sudeshna1.sma@outlook.com. Next, we also welcome your responses by way of your views and feedback on the PPTs or videos at feedback.stmichaelsacademy@gmail.com. Thank you, students, and have a nice day.